I haven't donned the Ride 360 production gear in over 2 years, but when I got the rare chance to ride to the top of Zion, I scrambled the gear together and rode from my home in Salt Lake City. We moved to America when I was 4. My family has always had a deep love for nature, so it did not take us long to find Makantawip, Zion National Park. Now, as an adult, I've brought my own family here many times. I've hiked and seen a great deal of this area, but one dream I had for a long time was to ride my motorcycle to the top, to the temple of the Sinawava. Now, Zion uses a shuttle system most of the year. This is great, because it makes it so many people can visit this amazing place. However, for a biker like me, the lust for a road I couldn't have, and to top it off, a road through a canyon that was the coolest ever. Yeah, I wanted to ride it. Badly. But, of course, this is the trick. Shuttles usually shut down in November and pick up again in March, although it seems to be getting earlier and earlier every year. I had made a few attempts, but weather or the bike would never allow the journey. When COVID hit Zion, like most national parks, they shut down. I happened to be reading about the park and I saw that the shuttle service was shut down. My 1986 Yamaha Fazer has been running quite well lately, so I made a phone call to the visitor center. Someone there took time to hear my story and helped me come up with the best plan to complete my ride to the top of Zion. You may have heard me say Makantawip when referring to the canyon before. This is because that was the first name of the canyon. The Mormon missionaries didn't name it Zion until after 1850, and believe me, they were not the first people here. So for me, it's Makantawip. And to be honest, I wish I could find all the original names. Like On Your Left is the Court of the Patriarchs, renamed in honor of the Mormon leaders. Sure would like to know what they were called before that. ride at Zion Lodge. In 1966, the original lodge burnt down in a fire. However, they had it rebuilt in 100 days. It's funny, in 1995 a landslide destroyed the road and guests and staff were stuck in the canyon. It only took them 24 hours to fashion a temporary road and get them out. Could have just left me in here. Coming up is the grotto. A ton of the canyon's hiking trails start here. If you're going to hike here, be sure you understand the dangers. Zion has some of the most amazing hikes. However, many of them have some things to look out for and know. If you don't have an experienced guide, be sure to swing your plan by the fine people at the visitor center. They will be able to let you know what you're in for. And drink water, lots of it. Utah does not forgive when it comes to dehydration. You know, most of the rangers will tell you, don't feed the chipmunks. It's bad for their stomachs, they get used to human contact, they'll bite you. But the real reason is it makes them fat and gristly, and they don't taste as good for the werewolves in the canyon. Oh yeah, werewolves. Years ago I was deep in writing my vampire series In the Blood. After I finished my second book, I decided I wanted to bring in a werewolf character I had been dreaming up. The problem was that this werewolf had a very long backstory, so I set to work writing Of the Wolf, Zion. In the book, a werewolf lives in a pack far north of Zion. Bourdon was exiled from its pack and starts to wander south. After many years, he finds peace in Zion. Years later, a young farmhand who has never fit in decides to leave society behind and goes deep into Zion. There he begins to change and is reborn into Tyos, a striking example of the amazing creatures werewolves would be. Tyos does not live an easy life, but this canyon and his home at Weeping Rock bring him great peace. It's coming up on the right. I even gave Tyos a shout as I rode by. Listen. Tyos! Once you get past Weeping Rock, you really begin to feel the canyon. I've been lucky enough to travel a lot of places in my days, but the air, the atmosphere feels different in Macontawheel than anywhere else. I have tried to figure out why for years. I think it's because there's two types of water in Zion. The Virgin River brings fresh new water, but the rocks themselves provide the second type of water. You see, the rain falls on the top of these giant cliffs. That water takes thousands, hundreds of thousands of years to reappear at the bottom of the canyon, soaking out of the rocks themselves. And you can feel that through your whole being. If you've never been to Macontawheel, I hope you put it on your list. This canyon can heal people. I've seen it more than once. I love taking new people here because they always get something from this place that sticks with them forever. When I wrote my book, The Good Wind, it was different. I sat down and wrote the first 3 chapters and mapped out the rest of the book in the first night. 6 weeks later, it was complete. I had, and still never have, written anything that quickly. The story came out as if it had been locked up in me and waiting for a chance to escape. In it, Rusty James rolls into town just out of Zion, after being on the road on his motorcycle for over 2 years. Rusty James has bought an old beat-up service station and plans to make it his home in this amazing land that has been calling him for a long time. Rusty James is running. He has lost his family, and he's not able to find his way back. However, because of this canyon, and the amazing people surrounding him here in the Great Red Forever, Rusty James learns how to grieve and then how to live again. In the end of the book, Rusty James rides to the temple of the Sinawava, just like I'm doing now. At the base of Riverwalk, Rusty James lays down his past and picks up his future. I guess that's what I'm hoping to do too. Staff at the Visitor Center. Once they heard and knew what my dream meant to me, they made sure I had the best chance of accomplishing this drive. Zion's not even currently accepting fees to get in the park. This means they have no income coming in to help them protect and maintain this amazing place. If you have some to spare, I hope you will look into giving a donation to the National Park Services to help. There's a link in the description below. If you're interested in reading more of my writing, I have an anthology available on Amazon that contains both Of the Wolf Zion and The Good Wind, plus many others. It's available again on Amazon, and once again, the link is in the description below. I also have more 360 VR rides from other canyons in Utah on the YouTube channel #Ride360. Hey, I'll also put a link for that below in the description. Hey, thanks for riding with me. I hope you can come along again.